The technology has used skin cells from male mice to make female egg cells.
What happens when a whale and dolphin make a baby? They create a brand new species discovered off Hawaii.
Fellow scientists are calling your work nothing less than astounding and even biological wizardry.
In secret laboratories, hidden from the public eye, scientists are conducting experiments that challenge the boundaries of nature and ethics.
This isn't the first time a whale and a dolphin created a hybrid, though. Sea Life Park actually has a wallfin.
Imagine hybrids that seem straight out of the pages of a science fiction novel, or creatures that until now only existed in myths and legends. These investigations not only explore the limits of science, but push them into territories many would consider unacceptable. Prepare to enter the dark world of the most disturbing hybridization experiments ever conceived. A world where ethical questions seem like a luxury, and the consequences of these practices could change the course of humanity forever. Are you ready to discover how far science can go? Number 20. Grizzly and polar bear hybrid, Pidsley. The Pidsley, or growler, is a hybrid that combines the characteristics of the polar bear, Ursus maritimus, and the grizzly bear, Ursus arctos horribilis. Its existence is an example of how climate change is forcing species to adapt to shifting environments. Polar bears, whose natural habitat in the Arctic is disappearing due to melting ice, are moving south, where their territories overlap with those of the grizzlies. This has led to unprecedented interaction between the two species, resulting in hybrids like the Pidsley. Pidsleys present a unique blend of traits from both parents. Their fur is a mix of white and light brown, which makes them less visible on ice, but better able to camouflage in wooded terrains and tundras. They have longer and stronger claws, inherited from the grizzly, and retain the polar bear's ability to swim long distances in search of food. Their diet also reflects this hybridization. They can hunt on the ice like polar bears, but also adapt to foraging on land. Although Pidsleys are still rare, the first confirmed sighting was in 2006, and scientists believe they could become a more frequent phenomenon. This hybrid raises ecological concerns, as its existence may dilute the unique characteristics of both parent species, especially the polar bear, whose population is already in decline. On the other hand, they also represent a sign of genetic resilience, adapting to increasingly unpredictable environments. Number 19. Cuban crocodile hybrid, a case of survival and threat. The Cuban crocodile, Crocodilus rhombifer, is one of the most threatened species in the world, with an estimated population of only 3,000 individuals confined to the Zapata and Lanier swamps in Cuba. This reptile, known for its small size, long hind legs, and aggressive behavior, faces an additional threat: hybridization with the American crocodile, Crocodilus acutus. Hybridization between these two species, detected both in captivity and in the wild, has begun to dilute the unique characteristics of the Cuban crocodile. A recent genetic study revealed that the American crocodiles in Cuba share 99% of their genetic makeup with the Cuban crocodiles, making crossbreeding easier. This genetic mix could lead to the disappearance of the pure Cuban crocodile lineage, compromising its ability to adapt to its specific habitat. Furthermore, habitat loss due to deforestation and human development, along with illegal hunting, has significantly reduced the range of the Cuban crocodile. This species is a cultural symbol in Cuba, but its survival depends on urgent measures to preserve its natural habitats and prevent uncontrolled hybridization. The conservation of this species is not just a biological matter, but also a cultural and ecological one. Protecting the Cuban crocodile involves safeguarding an entire ecosystem that depends on its presence to maintain balance. Number 18. Beefalo, the bison and cattle mix. The beefalo is a unique hybrid that combines the best qualities of the American bison, bison, and domestic cattle, Bos taurus. Developed in the 1970s, This hybrid was created with the goal of producing a more resilient and sustainable animal for the cattle industry. A typical beefalo contains about 38% bison genes and 62% cattle genes. The beefalo is robust and muscular, but lacks the prominent hump of the bison. Its more docile behavior makes it easier to manage for ranchers, though beefalo bulls can be dangerous due to their strength. This hybrid also stands out for its disease resistance and its ability to adapt to extreme climates, making it an attractive option for producers looking to reduce costs and increase efficiency. One of the main advantages of beefalo is its meat, which has 6% more protein than regular beef, as well as being leaner and containing less cholesterol and fat. This makes it a nutritious alternative for consumers looking for healthier options. Despite these advantages, beefalo production requires careful management to avoid negative impacts on ecosystems, especially when raised near wild habitats. The beefalo is an example of how hybridization can benefit the food industry, but it also highlights the importance of balancing sustainability with the preservation of original species. This hybrid demonstrates how innovation can help address global challenges as long as it is handled responsibly. Number 17. Holphin, the union of dolphins and false orcas. The holphin is a rare hybrid that results from the cross between a false orca, Pseudorca crassidens, and an Atlantic bottlenose dolphin, Tursiops truncatus. The first confirmation of a holphin occurred in 1985 at the Sea Life Park water park in Hawaii, when a female false orca and a male dolphin produced an offspring with intermediate traits.
Scientists with Cascadia Research were recently doing a field project in the waters off Kauai when they came across a mixed group with two species, melon-headed whales and rough-toothed dolphins.
This event was significant because these two species do not usually interact closely in the wild due to differences in behavior, geographical distribution, or habitat preferences. This hybrid combines both physical and behavioral traits of its parent species. Generally, holphins are intermediate in size. They tend to be smaller than false orcas, which can reach up to 6 meters, but larger than bottlenose dolphins, which range between 2.5 and 4 meters. With an average length of about 1.8 meters, the holphin has a slender build, shorter fins, and a grayish skin tone that is intermediate between the deep black of the false orca and the lighter gray of the bottlenose dolphin. This blend of anatomical features is accompanied by a dental and cranial profile that reflects the combined genetic heritage of both species. In terms of behavior, holphins are more inclined towards the social and playful behavior of dolphins. They tend to form close social bonds, cooperate in hunting, and engage in recreational activities such as surfing waves or chasing each other. These behaviors highlight their ecological versatility and ability to adapt. While other specimens have been recorded in both captivity and, very rarely, in open marine environments, the holphin remains a biological rarity and a reminder of how the boundaries between species can blur, especially when environmental factors or conditions controlled by humans facilitate genetic crossing. The holphin exemplifies the complexity of marine biodiversity and raises questions about conservation, genetics, and the human impact on wildlife. Although most of these hybrids have been born under human care, the mere possibility of their existence in the wild shows that in a constantly changing world, species can find unexpected paths to new genetic combinations. Number 16. Human-mouse hybrid, the Vacanti mouse.
So what do you think about experimenting on a human-rat hybrid brain? Scientists have done just that.
The Vacanti mouse is a singular case in which the boundaries between human and animal were blurred in a scientific context. In 1993, researchers at Massachusetts General Hospital conducted an experiment that marked a milestone in biomedicine. They used a biodegradable scaffold with human cartilage cells to grow a human ear on the back of a mouse. Despite its unsettling appearance, this rodent was not a genetically modified organism in the strict sense, as the mouse's DNA was not altered to carry human genes. Rather, it served as a living substrate, a biological environment capable of hosting and nurturing the growth of implanted human tissue. The main goal of this experiment was to advance in the field of regenerative medicine. If scientists were able to develop complex structures, such as an ear from human cells in an animal, then there was hope that, in the future, entire organs could be produced for transplants. Hearts, lungs, kidneys, or other vital tissues could potentially be created on demand, drastically reducing the risk of rejection and reliance on scarce human donors. However, the vacante mouse also sparked ethical debates. Some critics pointed out that, although the goal was to save human lives, the manipulation of animals as biological incubators raised questions about respect for animal life and the integrity of species. In response, various countries have established legal and regulatory limits on the production of transgenic or chimeric animals with human genes. The current consensus generally permits the creation of scaffolds and simple tissues, but discourages or prohibits the modification of complex organs, particularly the brain, due to the moral implications of granting an animal more human-like capabilities. Despite the controversies, the vacante mouse represents one of the first steps in advanced regenerative medicine. Its legacy continues in the research of bio-artificial tissues and organs, with the long-term goal of offering hope to thousands of patients on transplant waiting lists. Number 15. Liger, the largest feline in the world. The liger, a cross between a male lion, Panthera leo, and a tigress, Panthera tigris, is a hybrid as imposing as it is controversial. These felines can exceed 3 meters in length and easily reach 400 kilograms. Some have been reported to weigh close to a ton, making them true giants of the animal kingdom. Their colossal size results from the absence of certain genetic limitations that normally control growth in purebred species.
This is one of the largest ligers in the world, if not the largest. We're at Myrtle Beach Safari.
As the growth inhibition patterns inherited from the tiger do not activate in the same way in the liger. The origin of the liger dates back centuries in historical records and circuses, but the first documented case occurred in the 18th century. By 2017, it was estimated that there were around 100 ligers, mostly in zoological parks and private reserves. In the wild, these animals do not crossbreed, as lions and tigers inhabit different territories in Asia and Africa and have opposing social behaviors. Lions form prides while tigers are solitary. Despite their extraordinary appeal to the public, ligers face serious health problems. Their disproportionate size leads to bone, organ, and cardiovascular defects, reducing both their quality of life and life expectancy. Moreover, their hybrid behavior, with traits inherited from both the lion and the tiger, makes it difficult for them to integrate into prides or groups, as well as to adapt to a specific environment. As a result, most ligers live in captivity, often under selective breeding programs for exhibition purposes. Ethical issues arise strongly in the case of the liger. Conservation organizations and wildlife advocacy groups criticize their deliberate breeding, arguing that it does not contribute to the conservation of endangered species, but rather satisfies human curiosities or commercial interests. Still, the fascination with these creatures does not seem to diminish, and they continue to represent the blurry boundary between admiration for nature and human genetic manipulation. Number 14. Reviving the woolly mammoth. Woolly mammoths, iconic creatures that disappeared over 10,000 years ago, could return thanks to advances in genetic engineering. This project, led by pioneering scientists, aims not only to resurrect an extinct species, but also to create a hybrid adapted to cold climates using Asian elephants as a genetic base. The core of the project is CRISPR technology, which allows researchers to transfer key mammoth genes into the elephant's DNA. These genes include distinctive traits like smaller ears, a thicker layer of subcutaneous fat, and dense fur, which could enable the hybrids to survive in present-day tundras. This effort has significant ecological implications, such as stabilizing permafrost and restoring degraded ecosystems in Arctic regions. However, this endeavor raises ethical and ecological dilemmas. Is it wise to invest resources in reviving extinct species when so many others are at risk of disappearing? Additionally, introducing genetic hybrids into modern ecosystems could have unpredictable consequences, altering existing dynamics and putting other species at risk. Although the idea of bringing these majestic creatures back to the world inspires enthusiasm, scientists and conservationists emphasize the need to act with caution and responsibility before making decisions that could change the course of nature. Number 13. The jackalope, from mythology to science. The jackalope, a mythical creature from North American folklore, has captivated popular imagination for decades. This imaginary hybrid, a mix of rabbit and antelope or deer, has become a cultural icon thanks to stories that combine humor, magic, and fantasy. Although it belongs to the realm of fiction, its roots have a curious connection to real biology. The modern version of the jackalope was created in the 1930s by taxidermist Douglas Herrick in Douglas, Wyoming. After a hunting trip, Herrick combined deer antlers with a rabbit's head as a joke, giving birth to a cultural phenomenon. Over time, stories emerged attributing extraordinary abilities to these hybrids, such as mimicking human voices and attacking lumberjacks with their antlers. These narratives, though absurd, have solidified the jackalope as a beloved and humorous figure in folklore. Curiously, science offers a possible explanation for the jackalope legend. Some real rabbits can develop horn-like growths due to infections by the Shope papilloma virus. This virus causes growths resembling antlers, which may have inspired early stories of horned rabbits. While the jackalope remains a product of imagination, its popularity highlights our fascination with hybrids and the ways in which science and fiction intertwine. Number 12. Super ball python, the fusion of elegance and strength. The Super ball python is an impressive hybrid combining the ball python, Python regius, with the blood python, Python brongasmai, or the Borneo short-tailed python, Python breitensteini. This cross is highly valued for its unique appearance, which includes spectacular scale patterns in green, black, and brown hues, creating a visual appeal that distinguishes it among reptile enthusiasts. Of moderate size, Super ball pythons grow between 90 centimeters and 1.5 meters in maturity, making them manageable for those who keep them in captivity. In addition to their beauty, they are known for their longevity, with a lifespan that can extend up to 15 years. This, combined with their robustness, makes them a popular choice among breeders and collectors. Although hybridization in reptiles is not new, Super ball pythons stand out for the variety and frequency with which they are produced in captivity. So far, 56 ball python hybrids have been officially identified, and this number is expected to grow as new combinations are experimented with. However, this practice is not without controversy. While the creation of hybrids can be a testament to human creativity and skill, it also raises ethical challenges, particularly regarding the well-being of the animals and genetic manipulation. Super ball pythons are a clear example of how biology, aesthetics, and genetics can combine to create something entirely new. At the same time, they serve as a reminder that innovation in this field must be balanced with ethical considerations and a deep respect for nature. Number 11. Zonky, the donkey-zebra hybrid. At number 18 on our list is a fascinating and less unsettling creature, the zonky, a hybrid born from the cross between a male zebra and a female donkey. Although it may seem like a modern creation, zonkies have existed since the 19th century, when they were bred for transport tasks and resilience in harsh climates. A notable recent example occurred in 2020 at the Chulu Hills National Park in Kenya. A rescued zebra gave birth to a zonky, surprising both the caretakers and visitors. This hybrid displays the characteristic stripes of a zebra on its body, combined with the robust build of a donkey. In addition to its unique appearance, zonkies have greater immunity to certain diseases, which makes them biologically interesting. However, like most hybrids, they are sterile, limiting their ability to perpetuate their species. While less controversial than other experiments on this list, the zonkey remains a reminder of the curious and often unpredictable results of mixing species. Number 10. Hybrid beetle computer. In 2006, science took a disturbing turn toward the future when researchers managed to implant computer chips in living beetles. This breakthrough allowed scientists to control the insect's movements, marking a milestone in the fusion of biology and technology. These cyber beetles have impressive potential in emergency situations. Their tiny size and maneuverability make them ideal for rescue missions, especially in small spaces where humans or conventional robots cannot access. Equipped with cameras and sensors, they could locate victims trapped under debris or assess damage in inaccessible areas. The process of creating these insect robots is more economical and straightforward than developing complete robots. Scientists only need a chip, a controller, and radio components to direct the insect. Besides rescue missions, this technology could have applications in espionage, environmental monitoring, and even precision agriculture. However, this advancement also raises ethical concerns. The use of living beings as tools raises questions about animal welfare and the line between innovation and exploitation. As technology progresses, it will be crucial to set clear and responsible limits for its implementation. Number 9. Toiga, the domestic tiger. The toiga is a domestic cat that combines the elegance of a wild feline with the friendliness of a household pet. This breed was developed in the 1980s by Judy Sugden, who sought to create a cat that resembled a miniature tiger. By crossing short-haired domestic cats with Bengals, Sugden achieved a breed that, although still uncommon, has captured the attention of feline lovers worldwide. The name Toiga comes from the combination of toy and tiger, reflecting its unique and playful design. Unlike Bengals, which evoke leopards, Toigas are designed to mimic the appearance of tigers, with characteristic stripes and a majestic posture. In addition, this breed has an altruistic purpose: to raise awareness about the conservation of wild tigers. Due to their rarity, Toigas can cost between $1,500 and $5,000, and some breeders dedicate part of their income to supporting tiger conservation programs. This connection between Toigas and their wild counterparts makes them much more than just an exotic cat. They are a living symbol of the importance of protecting endangered species. Number 8. Human-cow hybrid, experimenting with ethical limits. In 2008, a group of scientists explored the boundaries of biotechnology by creating a human-cow hybrid as part of an effort to advance research on Parkinson's and other diseases. This experiment involved replacing the core of a cow's egg with human cells, resulting in a cloned blastocyst used to extract stem cells. Despite its potential medical benefits, this type of research has sparked intense ethical debates. Organizations such as Friends of the Earth warned about the risks, pointing out that human-animal hybrids could have negative impacts on human health and the environment. A particularly concerning aspect is the possibility that these modified animals could escape, reproduce, and alter existing ecosystems. This experiment also raised fundamental questions. How far are we willing to go in our pursuit of medical advancements? While science continues to push the boundaries of what's possible, it is crucial to establish regulatory frameworks that balance progress with respect for ethical and environmental implications. Number 7. Resurrection of the dodo. The dodo, an iconic bird that inhabited the island of Mauritius, is remembered as a symbol of extinction caused by human activity. This plump and friendly bird disappeared in the 17th century due to overhunting, the introduction of invasive species, and habitat destruction. Despite its tragic history, the dodo continues to fascinate scientists and conservationists. Its genetic closeness to pigeons has led some researchers to explore the possibility of resurrecting it through advanced genetic editing techniques. By using DNA from fossil remains and comparing it to that of modern pigeons, scientists believe they could reintroduce this extinct species in the future. However, the idea of bringing back the dodo raises significant ethical and ecological questions. Could the dodo adapt to modern ecosystems? Is it ethical to spend resources reviving extinct species while many others struggle to survive? Furthermore, reintroducing resurrected animals could alter ecosystems in unpredictable ways. Beyond the debates, the dodo remains a powerful reminder of the effects of human impact on biodiversity and a symbol of the urgent need to conserve the species we still have. Number 6. Hybrid, molly guppy, muppy, or gluppy. In the aquatic world, crosses between guppies and mollies have resulted in beautiful hybrids known as muppies or gluppies. Both fish belong to the Poecilia genus, which facilitates their hybridization, resulting in a dazzling array of colors, patterns, and fin shapes that delight aquarists worldwide. Although these hybrids can be visually stunning, breeding them requires meticulous care. The environmental needs of guppies and mollies are slightly different, and the hybrids often face challenges related to their health and reproduction. For example, some muppies may be less resistant to diseases or have difficulty adapting to water conditions. For those wishing to breed these fish, it is crucial to maintain a controlled environment with high-quality water and monitor their development closely. While muppies may not be as well known as other hybrids, their beauty and the satisfaction of breeding them make the effort worthwhile. Number 5. Hybrid, Mallard Pintail. Duck hybrids are a common phenomenon in nature, but the cross between the mallard, Anas platyrhynchos, and the pintail, Anas acuta, stands out as one of the most frequent and fascinating in North America. These hybrids combine characteristics from both parent species, but often face unique challenges, such as difficulty finding a mate. Mallards are known for their ability to hybridize with other related species, including black ducks, teal, and widgeons. This behavior creates conservation challenges, as it may dilute the genetics of less common species, such as the American black duck. As natural habitats decline due to deforestation and other human activities, the natural barriers between these species disappear, facilitating hybridization. The resulting hybrids often have mixed traits that make them less attractive to potential mates, which can contribute to their decline. However, these combinations also testify to the adaptability of these birds and the complexity of the ecosystems they inhabit. In the delicate balance between biodiversity and adaptation, mallard pintail hybrids offer a window into the evolutionary interactions in action. Number 4. Geep, the goat-sheep hybrid. The geep is a rare and charming hybrid that results from the cross between a goat and a sheep. Although both species typically graze together, their genetic differences make hybrids extremely unusual and often unviable. However, when one does survive, it becomes a fascinating and unique creature. A notable example is Butterfly, an adorable geep born at an interactive zoo in Scottsdale, Arizona. Her name comes from the black spots on her body that resemble the wings of a butterfly. This hybrid combines characteristics from both species: the legs and face of her goat father, along with the fluffy coat and tail of her sheep mother. Butterfly has not only won hearts in Arizona, but has also captured the attention of animal lovers across the country. With her vibrant energy and antics, this peculiar creature demonstrates the beauty and rarity of hybridization between species that don't typically mix. Number 3. Human-chimpanzee hybrid, Human-Z. We start our list with one of the most impactful and morally challenging experiments, the human-chimpanzee hybrid, also known as the Human-Z. For generations, the idea of combining humans and chimpanzees has lingered between science fiction and folklore. However, in recent years, some historical cases have given an unsettling air of reality to this notion. In 2018, evolutionary psychologist Gordon Gallup revealed details of a supposed experiment carried out in the 1920s in Orange Park, Florida. According to Gallup, researchers inseminated a chimpanzee with human sperm, resulting in a successful pregnancy. The hybrid creature, a mix of human and chimpanzee characteristics, was carried to term and was born alive. Although scientists were initially impressed with the result, the ethical implications and the moral burden of the experiment became overwhelming. Reports suggest the hybrid was sacrificed shortly after birth. Some scientists even proposed exploring the reverse process, fertilizing human women with chimpanzee sperm. This case, although not officially confirmed, illustrates the extremes some might go to explore the limits of biology. Number 2. Llama, the camel-llama hybrid. The llama is a fascinating hybrid that combines characteristics from two completely different species, the dromedary camel and the llama. This hybridization is relatively recent and was first achieved in 1995 via artificial insemination, as the marked size difference between the species makes natural mating impossible. Llamas present a unique mix of traits. On one hand, they have the long, soft coat of llamas, while their bone structure and sturdy legs resemble camels, making them suited for desert terrains. Their ears and feet also show an interesting combination between the two species, with camel pads and llama split hooves. An intriguing biological curiosity is that both camels and llamas have 74 chromosomes, which allows llamas to be fertile, something uncommon in hybrids. However, there have been no recorded births between two llamas. In terms of behavior, llamas tend to prefer the company of llamas over camels, adding another interesting dimension to their story. While llamas have practical applications, such as transportation and agriculture in desert regions, they also spark debates about genetic manipulation and the creation of hybrids for specific purposes. Number 1. Naruga, the Arctic hybrid. The Naruga is an extraordinarily rare hybrid between a narwhal and a beluga. This unique animal was discovered by a fisherman in the late 1980s, who initially thought he had caught an unusual beluga. However, upon observing its gray skin and distinctive horn, the fisherman realized it was something out of the ordinary. For years, the Naruga's skull remained in the fisherman's house until a researcher examined it in the 1990s. It was not until almost 3 decades later that DNA tests confirmed its hybrid origin: a narwhal mother and a beluga father. Since narwhals and belugas share Arctic habitats, encounters between these species are not impossible, but successful hybridization is extremely rare. Most hybrids of this type are sterile, which makes the Naruga a biological phenomenon worthy of study and admiration. From the most surprising hybrids in nature to experiments that challenge the limits of science, these creations show us the power and responsibility of manipulating life. While the future promises incredible advances, it also requires us to face tough questions about ethics, conservation, and sustainability. Where do you think we should draw the line? Leave us your opinion in the comments.